Hello and welcome to the Craft channel in association with Create and Craft. You might have seen our other videos showing you how to use your TODO machine. I'm now going to show you the hot foiling element of it, which is great. You can get some beautiful effects. They have a range of lovely colours of foil that you can get. And there's all sorts of different effects. There's some glittery ones, there's some holographic ones. They've also got this selection of dies. Now I'm just showing you the butterfly ones here. These die templates, or what they call die templates, they're metal templates, and you can use them both for hot foiling and for letterpress, as you will see in another video. But the hot foiling technique, if I just show you this card here, I don't know if it catches the light, you've got a great iridescent look to that. And it's one of those things you need a special machine to do hot foiling, just by the process of the heat releasing the foil from the film. So what we do first of all is, if we come over to the machine, there's an indicator light here. This is why your machine comes with a power cable, because it's got a heating element in here. Now this heats up quite hot, I can't remember the exact temperature, but you turn it on and it takes about 12 minutes to heat up, and the indicator goes from red to green. What I've also found is, if you put your template on there and just let the heat transfer through the whole of the template, you get a much better result. If you put it on there, immediately put the foil on top and then try and do it, it doesn't always give the template enough time to heat up, especially if you're using one of the large block templates. So we've done that. I would choose a nice iridescent blue for this butterfly. Make sure your hands aren't sticky. Make sure your cutting mat's not sticky. I don't know why that bit of dust is on there, because the foil will come off the back quite easily if you're not careful. I tend to use a scalpel, or you can use scissors, just to cut myself a piece of foil that's big enough to fit over that butterfly. Let's pop that there. And then you place the foil with the dull side up, so you've got the colour, you place it dull side up on there, and you'll immediately see it will flatten out because the heat is now transferring to the foil. Take yourself, let's have a yellow. Take yourself a piece of card. Now you'll notice there's no plates underneath this. This is because you've got the hot mat that you need to have the die sitting on top of. If you just put your piece of card, and you know me, don't like waste, let's put it in the corner over here. And then you take your A plate, again with my little note on it saying that it's the top plate for hot foiling. Pop that on the top like this. And they recommend again a setting of between 6 and 8 to hot foil. No, that's a lie, 2 to 3 to hot foil. The reason it's a tighter roller, the reason it's a greater pressure, is because you haven't got that second mat, you've only got the one mat. So you lift your turny thing, what do you call it? You lift that, you turn it round, and I'm going to put it on about 2.5. Should get a nice crisp image without it puncturing through the paper. You can only turn the knob when the carriage is at one end or other of the machine. Don't do what I always do, which is think, oh, I need to change that halfway through. Roll it over, and if you feel any or too much pressure, if you feel that the rollers don't want to go over evenly, you need to take it back and change it to a higher number so there's a bigger gap between the rollers. Okay, I should be able to remove that, remove this. And as you can see, it has stuck the foil to the card. That's not too much pressure at all. So you've got that great butterfly image. The other thing that I like to do, because I don't like leaving anything, you know, you'd normally throw that in the bin because it's got a butterfly on it, you can't do anything else with it. What you can do is you can use that reverse image. Now, I'm going to take this off here. The TODO comes with a great magnetic tool to stop you burning your fingers, because that will be really hot. It does cool down quite quickly. They also give you a nice silicone mat that you can put it on so it doesn't disturb your tabletop. To use the reverse image, if you get one of their large background plates, it's got a flat back to it. So you can pop it on there, leave it for a couple of minutes to heat up. I'm just going to trim that down. Place your foil again, the negative waste foil, dull side up, and if you just get a scrap of card, of which I have many because I never throw anything out, just cut that in half. Pop your scrap of card on the top, put the plate that you've put to one side back on the top, and then roll over again. And what you'll find, you won't get a perfect image because you haven't got the raised area of the die template. But what you should have, through the magic of videoing and doing it all in one take and potentially having mistakes, is you should be able to peel away that foil. Oh no, it hasn't worked. I needed more pressure on that. I'm just going to pop it back on. And I'm just going to increase the pressure. So a lower number. Let's put it on 2. Now you can do it with this because the foil is still stuck to the card. Don't try and, if you mess it up when you're actually doing a complete impression, you'll be really lucky to get it back in the same place and you'll get a shadowed image. If you muck it up, you are honestly better off starting again. But I don't like to start again. I like to do these videos and show all the pitfalls. Let's try it again. I've now stuck it on so solidly I can't. Oh look, there you go. So you can peel it off. And you've got like a distressed sort of effect that you could use. Some of these shabby chic cards and the grunge effect and the steampunk, things like that would be perfect. And I'm just going to show you how you can make that look better by turning off the heating element of the machine, because I don't need it anymore. Let's get rid of that plate. Bear in mind that plate is still very, very hot. It won't hurt your boards, it will hurt your hands. It shouldn't hurt the card because it's not so hot it's going to set fire to it. But with this set of templates, butterfly templates, you also get a set of die cut templates. This is the one that matches the butterfly, I believe, that I've just used. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it over the top there. And it's one of those things, I'm quite used to seeing what I'm cutting. But I don't think it makes any difference, but the way it's been rigged up is that the paper goes on the top of the die. So what I'm going to do is, to make sure there's no slippage, is just tape that die onto that piece of paper with a bit of washi tape. And then you take your bottom plate for die cut, pop it on the top. You set the dial. Now I've worked out that to use a thin die on cardstock, I wanted at 8.5. So I've set the dial, and as I say, you can change that dial at either end of the machine. As long as the carriage is at one end or the other and not over this mat, you'll be fine. I'm going to pop this face down. This is my cutting mat, plate B, over the top. And then just wind it back over the top. And as I say, the heating element of that is still hot, but the plates are not going to get damaged by it. And there you go. You have a cut butterfly, and that's the reverse image cut butterfly. If I just go back to the, there it is. Again, pop your cutting die over the top, tape it down, face down on the mat, B plate on top of it, and once you've used this a lot, you'll remember which plate is which. For a start, the B plate, the cutting plate, will have the cutting marks on it. Wind it back over the top. Oh. And again, you've got a perfectly cut out butterfly. Well, almost perfectly. Could have done with moving that template over a little bit. And the other thing as well, if you want to get really serious with it, they also do an interior die, so you can cut out all these sections that haven't been hot foiled for a great image. And as you can see, things like the butterfly, the hot foiling butterfly looks great as a motif on a card. The hot foiling itself looks great as a background in a card. It's really very simple. It's one of those things, once you start doing it, you'll be hot foiling, and all those odd bits of card that you've got, you'll put a nice hot foil design on them. But just always take care that you don't go to pick the template up straight off the mat, because it will be hot and you will singe yourself. So I hope that explains a bit more how to use the TODO machine and the versatility of it really. So join us again and we'll show you some more.